Hi guys, thanks for joining me again. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Ann, and on my channel, I review foreign international content. We like to diversify what we watch, nothing against Hollywood, but if you've been here before, you know what I say. We travel around the world sitting on our couches. And in the process, oh my, we're learning about culture, languages, food, just freaking fantastic. And so if that's something you're getting into or something that you love to do, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right space. Always make the font bigger when you're watching foreign shows. That always helps with the eyes. Although now we're getting more and more dabbing that's coming. So if it becomes exhausting after a while, please switch up to the English. But once again, I'm back. Today we're in South Korea again. You know, that's one of our favorites. This just finished on Netflix. It's such a funny, fun show. It's called Mad for Each Other. And to my Korean friends joining me, 안녕하세요, 감사합니다 for joining us. But let's go ahead and review this one. If you just want to watch something like, it's lighthearted at the same time it's deep, just because these two have anger issues that they have to deal with. It's funny. It's funny, but it was such a nice script, and the two actors, I have to say, their comedic timing is so good and just so funny. So the two main characters on this show are Yeon-seo, who I loved. It's the girl. I saw her in Sassy Girl. So if you want to, I think I reviewed that down below. So if you want to find out about that, that was it's one of those, like, I love those prehistoric movies or shows that they do where they're wearing their Korean, traditional Korean clothing, and it's just like, just beautiful. So she was in that. She did an excellent job in that. And then Jag-woo, who I love. I saw him in one of those Reply 1994. I believe he was in the Reply 1994. He's playing a doctor. Excellent. You should watch the series. I did review it down below as well. So do yourself a favor. Those were really fun to watch. But anyway, in this show, called Mad for Each Other, what we're told is Oh-yeon's character, there's a history of, she was dating this guy and they were very much in love, and then out of the blue gets confronted at work by this guy's wife. And let's just say the amount of embarrassment. And then on top of that, we find out that she was also physically and emotionally abused by this dude. Oh, that one video they showed of her being beat up. Wow. I mean, it was crazy. So let's just say, because of her experience, between being ashamed at work and people shunning her for dating a married man, which she was not aware of. It wasn't like she was aware he was married. She never knew. It was just like, what? You're his wife? What? Anyway, from that, and being ashamed at work, and obviously being scared for being violated like that, let's just say it has caused her to have a lot of anxiety, emotional, anger issues that has made her a little bit weird. I mean, she walks around with the flower on her head, and then she's got sunglasses. It doesn't matter if it's sunny or not. She's just like wood, okay? And so everybody can tell she's a little weird. I can't see. Now I can see. I can tell that she's a little weird. And she moves into this apartment complex, and it so happened she moves next to Jag-woo's character's next apartment. I think she's 506 and he's like 507. And what we find out about Jag-woo is that he was a cop and was involved in this, like, they're trying to catch criminals in a sting, and it all went wrong. He has anger issues, and once he goes and gets really, really angry, it's like no coming back. So for that reason, because the sting went wrong and he's got anger issues, he's been directed to go for anger management sessions with the therapist. Until he gets a hold of that, they will not reinstate him as a cop. And it so happened by default, she is also seeing a therapist. And by default, they're seeing the same therapist. In the beginning, they did not know that they were seeing the same therapist. It was by coincidence. Once they bumped into each other as neighbors in the apartment complex, at first they just hated each other. He's like, what is your problem? You're suspicious of everyone. And then she's like, and what's your problem with anger issues? So they just, the whole couple first seasons, they're just going back and forth. And that was hilarious to watch. And then it's like they show up for therapy sessions and they're like, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here? And it so happens they have the same therapist, but they both love the same therapist that they just are like, I can't give my therapist up. Almost like, can you come at a different time? And you come at a different time. I just don't want to see you there. So it was funny how they were going back and forth. But obviously, as it progresses, and it says mad for each other. It's like a 2-for-1, if you will. They're really like mad, like angry at each other. But the more they know each other, they get mad for each other the other way. You know what I'm talking about, right? So obviously they take to each other, they share with each other about their struggles. They see what they each have gone through. She sees what he has gone through as a cop, and then obviously he sees what she went through with that terrible boyfriend who not only was lying to her, also beat her to a pulp and really messed her up. So it's almost like because of both of their struggles, it brings them together. And you have to keep watching because it gets better and better. I don't like to do spoilers, but what a fun show. It's lighthearted, it's funny. Yes, it has some deep issues that they discuss, but most of it is just light and funny and just endearing. So a perfect show to like watch on a weekend. You could totally binge watch this. And now all the episodes are here. You can binge watch it. I think it just ended last week. So I wanted to jump on here and say, do yourself a favor and watch Mad for Each Other, because it's just fantastic. Oh, and by the way, I loved, so in their apartment complex, they have these women who do neighborhood patrol. They're so newsy, but they have a good heart about it, but they're so newsy. They gotta know all your business. I mean, this one lady's sitting there, she has her window open and looking at all the different apartments like, oh yeah, David is back, and oh yeah, so-and-so is not home yet. Oh, and so is cooking. Like, newsy. But in the end, they care about the neighborhood, and I loved how they came through for her once they realized what had happened to her and how she was hurt. And there's the boyfriend's mother who comes and tries to make her life like a living hell. And once the women of the neighborhood found out what the truth was, I loved how they came for justice. I love that they were dressed up in hats and they're walking in like, ooh, you're gonna pick on one of us, you're gonna get it. So they went for her. That was so much fun to watch. But it's just a fun show. If you've watched it, let me know what you think down below. I totally think it was really fun to watch. Please do add Mad for Each Other on your playlist. It's on Netflix. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Kamsahamnida. And I'll see you again when I'm reviewing another excellent foreign show. Deuces.